Not many Springbok props only start playing rugby at the age of 19, but Lizo Gqoboka's story is even more interesting than that random stat. Today we're getting to know the Bulls prop who has certainly made his mark on the 2019 season a little better. We're also hearing from his wife, Mrs. Gqoboka, gave us some answers, important ones, and we'll see how well he knows her, how well he really knows her. Speaking of knowing Lizo Gqoboka, we're also hearing from Rob Kimsen, since he's a guy who's had quite a hand in Lizo's career until now. More on that later. Speaking of Lizo's career until now, if you haven't watched The Road Less Traveled yet, go look on SuperSport's YouTube page for the full story. This is what Ian Lesinski had to say about him.
Lizo's grown immensely as a person. You know, he was this humble, shy kid to start with, but I think over the years he's matured into a fine young man. He's just a really genuine guy. He's one of those guys who realises that the world doesn't owe you a favour, the world doesn't owe you anything, and if you want to get somewhere, you need to work hard for it.
Of course, if you are watching us live on Facebook, please drop your comments below. If you have any questions you'd like Lizo to answer or any input on the show, you can also always use the hashtag #SSRugby. Welcome to In Touch, Lizo Gqoboka.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
The pride of the Eastern Cape. All the way up here in Gauteng, dominating the front row action. You've had a phenomenal season until now, Lizo.
Yeah, I thank God for giving me another opportunity to play rugby. I had a bad injury last year, and I'm grateful that there's progress every week. I'm getting better, and I'm just really enjoying myself. You know, I'm enjoying my rugby, so it's going well.
Now, Ian Lesinski, the guy that we just heard from, is or is he not the guy responsible for moving you to the front row?
Partly is. You know, firstly, before he moved me, the Lord spoke to me. You know, something just dropped in my spirit so heavily and so clearly, you know, that I need to move, you know, because I could see as well, you know, when I asked him, I could see, no, man, I can scrum. I'm strong enough to scrum, but I can do more on the field. You know, that would work on my advantage. And with Ian's advice as well, and I made the move. Yeah.
So you played eighth man before.
Yes.
Tell us about how it is that you started playing rugby. That story about you only starting after school is just phenomenal. That doesn't happen often in international rugby.
Yeah, firstly, I'm from Mount Frey, and my mom is from Ntabangulu, which that's where I studied. That's where I went to Ntabangulu High School. And there was no rugby there. There's still no rugby. So I grew up playing soccer, basically. And when I passed my matric and went to Durban, you know, I was there focusing on my studies. You know, I didn't even know you can make a living out of rugby, you know, and there was a guy in the neighborhood, his name is Quentin Hipner. You know, he always had rugby balls in his car. You know, then I would look at him the whole time. Then I asked him, bro, can I join you? Because I looked at him, I'm like, this guy's smaller than me, man. If you can play rugby, I can play rugby. You know, that's how I looked at it, and that's how I started playing rugby. And on my first day at Queensborough Club, I was ready to smash someone there, and I found they were playing touch rugby. So I just stood there, and I didn't know what was going on now. I'm supposed to tackle someone, and now I'm touching someone. It's just a touch rugby. You know, yeah, that was the first time seeing touch rugby as well.
So you made the move from club rugby almost kind of straight into professional rugby, and then you ended up becoming a Springbok. Becoming a Springbok, considering how late you started playing rugby, what was the biggest thing about that experience that you didn't expect or anticipate? Because a lot of boys grow up kind of idolizing the Springboks from before school.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously it all kind of hit you in the matter of a few years.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, as soon as I, you know, started watching rugby as well, you know, I believed in myself, and I was ready to work hard, you know, to make sure I reach my dreams. And, you know, for it to happen when I played against Barbers in England, 2016, you know, it was a dream come true for me. And you know, as an athlete, you want to represent your country, you know, so that's the top, that's the pinnacle, you know. So I was really grateful that I could achieve that, because some people start early, you know, but they don't reach that. So I'm grateful to God that I could reach my dreams.
He's certainly given you a lot of talent, but he's also given you plenty of challenges.
Yes.
You were probably the guy with, you know, the longest list of unbelievable non-stop challenges that have hit your, you know, that have come across your path. When you look back now, what is that one thing that moment where you almost gave up, where you almost thought it was?
Yeah, I can count quite a few. I remember after my graduation, you know, I was applying for a job. I couldn't get a job for 7 months, sitting at home, and I would go 4 days without power, you know. And I remember a friend of mine coming to my house at like 20 to 10 at night when I had already given up. You know, I thought, you know what, I don't have food today. I'm sleeping, I'm in bed already, I've given up, you know. And he just hooted outside and he was like, Lizo, and I went out, you know. And he said, can we go buy a pie at the garage? You know, it blew my mind. You know, I actually asked him 2 years ago, we were on holiday in Durban. I asked him, his name is Shange, Zeketelo Shange. I asked him, why did you come at my house at 20 to 10, you know? At night, you've had supper at home and everything. He just said to me, you know what, bruh, I don't know. I just felt like a pie and I didn't want to eat it alone. That's when I knew that God provided at the time. So, yeah, those moments like that and growing up at a place where I only, you know, I always share this. The first time I had pizza and burger in my life, I was 19. You know, there was no TV back home, no electricity. I didn't even know those pizza and burgers existed, you know. It just shows that nothing is impossible if you believe and willing to work hard, keep the right attitude, and it's all possible.
There have been a few people on your path who've also really believed in you, besides the fact that you've unshaken belief in yourself.
Yeah.
One of them is Rob Kimsen. Let's see what one of our colleagues had to say about Lizo.
Lizo Gqoboka, dear friend, arrived here at the Eastern Province Rugby and was a very quiet, very humble individual. He could never quench his thirst for learning, and you know, particularly with regards to the front row forward, played loose head and played tight head for us. And what struck us very early on, exceptionally athletic, but just his want and his will and his drive that he had with regards to wanting to play professional rugby. I think that's what struck all of the coaching staff, Mr. Stick and myself included. So Lizo has done exceptionally well, one would think, so far in his career, and there's so much more to go, my friend. And congratulations on everything you've achieved so far, the foundation that you've started and what you're doing for your local community back home in Tabankulu. Excellent work, and looking forward to watching many more games of you and hopefully getting into that Springbok jersey soon. All the best, bud.
Tell me about your relationship with Robbie.
That's heartwarming. He's my coach, he's my dad, he's my friend. Yeah, he played a major role in my career. You know, he's the first person to give me an opportunity and spotting the talent and the hunger, you know, and gave me an opportunity to play professional rugby. And imagine, you know, dealing with someone who just started playing rugby, and you know, you're a Springbok, you know so much, and you can see, you know, how far they are, but you're still patient with them because you believe you know, their hunger and their talent will take them there. So I'm really grateful, you know, forever grateful for everything he's taught me, you know, on and off the field. He's an amazing man, you know. The relationship we have off the field as well is amazing, you know, such a humble guy, you know, he's a legend in the game. And for me, I was truly blessed, you know, to have someone like that, you know, advising me and just guiding me through this new journey of mine. So I'm forever grateful.
It's also remarkable that you started in the Eastern Cape at the Kings, considering that's where you came from, and even though you started playing rugby in Durban, you took the bus down to the Eastern Cape.
Yes.
You went and you played your trials there.
Yes.
And now Robbie is back there at the Kings, the director of rugby. Tell me about your love of the Eastern Cape and that region and how passionate you are about it.
Yeah, it's home, eh? I'm very passionate. There's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of players that came out from the Eastern Cape, and we're grateful for that. And we really, happy and excited about what's happening at the Kings, because that means more opportunities and more talent will be discovered, and I think they couldn't have chosen a better person to spot the talent than other than Rob Kimsen. He's a perfect guy for the job, and I really wish him well. I wished him well last week as well when I saw him at Loftus. Yeah, so it's really exciting times, and hopefully people there are hungry for the opportunity and willing to work hard and make it even more special. Springboks to come out there.
Yeah.
If I can prophesy.
But it is impressive looking at Dale and Queens and the kind of guys who have come through those schools, and the gees and the passion that they have for rugby.
Yeah.
The Gqoboka videos that we constantly get and that starts going viral on social media. They've of course got a big derby coming up this weekend. Tell me about that culture around rugby in the Eastern Cape that we don't often see anywhere else in South Africa.
It's a big part of who we are. Since I was young playing soccer, we had Gqoboka as well. So it's massive. It just does something in you. It lifts you and gets you ready for the game, for the battle. So it's amazing. It's wonderful.
Because you are often that guy leading the singing at the box as well. I have seen you in action. Have you always been that guy?
Always. I love singing. I can't really sing well, but it will not stop me from singing. As I was saying, it's special. I can't even explain it. I can't even put it in words. It just does something in you. It just lifts you. It just gets everyone together. It gets everyone united and ready for the battle. It's awesome.
So at the box, I'm sure there are some guys who are a little more uncomfortable than you are about this whole singing story. Who are the ones who are most keen that you've been surprised about?
That I was surprised about, when we was at the box last year, I was injured a year before.
Yeah.
Actually, everyone, it was just amazing. Everyone was willing. I promise you, you could see, you guys shot a video 2 years ago, where we were singing. Everyone is in it. Everyone is singing. Everyone enjoyed it, So I can't say there wasn't anyone. I was just surprised that everyone brought in, and it was awesome. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to chat about your personal life a little bit now, because there's a lot there to chat about.
Yeah.
In the week, I texted Lizo's wife, Omila, and I said to her that we're going to quiz him and see how well he really knows her. So we've asked him the same set of questions. Let's see how well Lizo fares.
Hi everyone, my name is Omila, and I will be answering a few questions about myself, questions that my husband will be asked as well. I guess we will have to find out how well he knows me.
Lizo, what is your wife's favorite food?
Definitely seafood.
Seafood.
What is your wife's favorite band?
Wait a second. It's called Coldplay, yeah.
Coldplay.
What's your wife's favorite snack?
I am.
Your...
On a serious note now, it's popcorn.
I'm a popcorn kind of girl. Yes, popcorn anytime.
What is your wife's favorite kind of car?
It's Mustang.
Mustang, American muscle.
What's your wife's favorite color?
Pink.
Flash pink.
What's your wife's favorite season?
Winter.
The winter season, I really enjoy the fashion in that time, as well as the fact that I can just hibernate and stay indoors and not,
And her favorite city?
Durban.
Durban.
That is a full round. High five to you. Let's join me over there on the other side of the set. I'd like to move this chat just a bit. I love how you backed yourself there to be her favorite snack. You caught me unawares there.
You caught me as well.
Joining us on set is Lizo
you guys.
Gqoboka. We snuck her in. Please grab a seat next to your wife. Now it's going to get real. The first part was just a warm-up.
Behind my back, you guys.
Behind your back.
I'm capable of anything. You should know that. Don't double cross me.
Sure. Surprise.
Tell us about when the two of you met.
We met at church in 2011, Live Wire. Yeah, so we went to the same church. Yeah, so we've known each other for a while, but we're not dating. We only started dating in 2015. 2015, yes.
Why did it take so long, Umila?
Well, I was still studying, so I was doing my degree at Elma at that time, and he was playing for the EP Kings. I did not want anything to do with him. So he tried, shame, when I was in varsity the whole 3 years when I was there. And yeah, I just told myself that I didn't go there to really, be in a relationship. I really wanted to focus on my studies and everything. So I graduated and got a job in Durban. That's when we bumped into each other again, and yeah.
What is it about Lizo that you really connected with initially, that resonated with you?
He's always been a guy that really loves the Lord, and for me, that's something that I was always looking for in a partner. I always wanted to be with someone that fears God, because I knew that someone that fears God cannot just do anything to you, because God is omnipresent and He's everywhere. So I couldn't be everywhere he was, and be watching what He's doing and everything, but just to trust God with Him. I think that's like one of the things that really drew me to Him.
So, Lizo, you have ambitions to be a pastor. You're becoming one. There's more to you than just this passion for the dark arts of the front row in rugby. Did you spot a future pastor's wife in Umila long before she spotted it?
Definitely. As I mentioned earlier, we met in church. She was always active and serving in the choir there. So, with time, I got to know her. She was just always hungry to serve at church, and for me that was, one of the most amazing things. At such a tender age, to be that mature and be that and sacrifice everything else to serve in the house of the Lord was just mind-blowing, especially because we were so young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, it doesn't hurt that she's gorgeous. It does
yes,
help.
Cherry on top.
You guys have a baby boy, but you also have the Lizo Gqoboka Foundation, which makes it seem like you have many more children than just a baby boy.
Definitely.
Tell me about life at home with the Gqobokas.
Life at home, I'm the only lady there. I've got boys in the house, so I'm the rose among the thorns, I can say. But it's really fun. I've always wanted to have boys. I'd never imagined having a baby girl, whatever. So it's really fun, and just taking care of them is one of my favorite things to do. I'm very strict, if I can put it that way. So I put everyone in line. It's really fun.
So you have a beneficiary from the Lizo Gqoboka Foundation who boards, but who does stay with you guys, on weekends and holidays. Tell me about the work you do through the foundation.
Yeah, so the main purpose of the foundation is basically giving opportunity to the underprivileged kids and just sports talent and give opportunity where we can. We didn't want to limit it with rugby because I play rugby. So we have soccer, we have rugby, we have netball, and we've actually got, we gave 2 bursaries this year to 2 girls. The other one has been sitting at home for 5 years, and the other one has been sitting at home for 3 years now. And we gave them opportunity. So they're studying, they don't play any sport. So it's not about sport, but sport is a big part of it, so it's about education as well. So it's giving opportunity. That's what we do.
And if someone is watching now and they want to support the foundation, what is it that you guys need most?
There are people that come down, I bumped into one guy at the airport that was willing to send people down to any rural area just to make, clinics, awareness, and, when I grew up, I only knew about 4 careers: doctor, nurse, teacher, and a lawyer. I didn't know you can be a psychologist. I didn't know you can be a TV presenter. I didn't know about those things. So as anyone that is willing to enlighten people, they can, donate with their time, with their skill, with their money. So every detail is on the Lizo Gqoboka Foundation on Instagram, Facebook, and we've got an app as well.
Wouter Pienaar, sorry to interrupt you. Wouter Pienaar on Facebook wants to know if you plan to write a book about your journey and your story anytime soon. Is there something in the works?
Definitely in the pipeline. I just don't want to leave, other chapters out. I'm still playing, so a book definitely in the future.
Definitely in future. Well, Omila, thank you so much for joining us and for dishing a bit on your personal life.
Hey, you guys, I still can't believe you.
He's in shock just a tiny bit. Okay, well, speaking of people who have made immense strides and who've amazing journeys, one of those journeys that we didn't even know about ourselves here at SuperSport is that of Anton Taylor, one of our commentators. So our cameras went to Cape Town to get to know the guy a little better. This is just a tiny snippet on that docu on Anton.
I think I've realized that happiness is a constant line. It's not something that you chase over weekends and then you dip. So it's not about feeling good on the Friday and Saturday and then feeling awful on the Sunday. And I think the change has just taught me that there's just so much more to life, that there's a richness that develops and a feeling of calmness. I used to be very scared and anxious, and I'd say the single biggest feeling I have now is that everything's going to be okay. I'm not worrying about things, I'm not fearing. I just have a great sense of peace that has come.
Beautiful. So get the whole story on Anton Taylor and the road to here. That will be on Catch Up as well as on SuperSport's digital platforms on Monday before the Varsity Cup final. Of course, Marty's hosting Tuks in this year's big final. And speaking of big events taking place on Monday, of course, the final season of Game of Thrones will be debuting. Well, you can watch it live from the US early Monday morning, or you can catch the premiere on Monday night. And on the topic of Game of Thrones, we've come up with a little quiz called Game of Firsts. Very serious. Lizo Gqoboka. The first of many things. You mentioned the fast food thing a little earlier. What was the first time you purchased a pair of rugby boots?
2009.
How old were you?
I was 19.
19.
Yeah.
There's a story about you not having tackies that I recall as well.
Yes. Yes, so when I got to the EP Kings, I didn't have tackies, and I was not allowed in the gym for 2 days. I went barefoot there in the gym. Yeah, then I phoned my parents. They gave me 70 rands to buy a pair of shoes. So, yeah.
You've come a long way. These days, you're rocking your sponsored boots there on Instagram. Tell us about the first time you stepped on the rugby field. How old were you?
I was 19.
19
Yeah.
at
the Queensborough Club.
Queensborough. So
Yes.
shout out to Queensborough Club.
Yes.
Club Rugby not getting a lot of airtime these days. We're giving them a shout out for bringing
Shout
us
out.
Lizo Gqoboka.
Yes, Queensborough Club and Collegians.
Collegians.
Yeah.
Okay. First time you met your wife, she was quite young. How old were you?
I was 21.
21. So
Yes.
you guys have walked the road together. First thing you purchased after getting your first paycheck, your first real paycheck in rugby?
It was food. You know, when I got my first contract, you know, I was at the AP Kings for I think 5 months without a contract. So it was tough because I was on a trial. I thought the trial was going to be a one-day trial, but it was the whole 4 months. So there were times where we didn't have food, didn't have power as well. So the first thing I did was buying food.
Just the basics?
Yeah.
Wow. And then the first time you ate fast food, you said 19?
Yeah.
How often do you eat it these days?
Not a lot. My wife cooks well. I enjoy her food, so not a lot.
Not a lot.
No.
I'm only going to ask you for one prediction this weekend, and that's,
Okay.
of course, that big Eastern Cape derby. Queen's College Dale.
Queens,
Queens.
keep it flowing, keep it going.
Like the water.
Like the water.
Well, best of luck with this weekend and enjoy your bye week. And thank you so much for joining us on In Touch.
Thank you for having me.
Now, if you've just joined us a little late in the show and you want to watch the whole thing, of course, the show is on Facebook and also on Catch Up. We'll be back same time, same place. Until then, goodbye. And on that note, thanks so much for watching. And if you'd like to see some of our older episodes, click up here to subscribe to SuperSport's YouTube channel over there.